Chief Wike is a friend of the Ijaws. He has done so much for the Ijaws. Probably even more than, apart from Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who is living. It may be difficult to find any other person who has done so much for the Ijaws like Dr. Wike has done. And our Ijaw people too, we should calm down. Politics is different from agitation. Politics is different from war. Politics is different from ethnic, consideration. Politics is politics. Look, for instance, in NDDC today, we have two Ijaw sons, MD and EDFA. If you try that, if it were Ikwere people, if it were Ikwere, the Wike supported Ikwere man to be MD, Ikwere man to be EDFA, we the Ijaws would have brought heaven to come down. But look at the rest of the ethnic nationalities in Niger Delta. They are supporting the MD and EDFA, giving them support to succeed. That is how it should be. We must imbibe an attitude of live and let's live. The Niger Delta belongs to all of us. No one hand can wash alone and be clean. You wash here, you wash here. Now, the final thing Wike said was that in the states where the Ijaws found themselves, they are minorities of the minorities. How do you fault that? Remember that Wike was speaking, you have to appreciate the context on which Wike was speaking. Wike was not talking about landmass, population by ethnicity, or he was speaking purely on electoral issues. Purely on electoral issues. In Rivers State, the Ijaws occupy 17.5% of the total voter register. To produce a governor, you need 51%. Right? Can the Ijaws produce a governor on their own in Rivers State? The answer is no. Are they a majority in Rivers State by way of election? The answer is no. But the irony is that we don't understand. If you look at, for instance, the population of Obiakpo, electoral population of Obiakpo, in that population, you have the Ijaws there. You have the Igbos there. You have the Robos. Everybody is a convergence because of the metropolitan nature of the city. Right? So, but that confers on the Obiakpo people advantage in terms of electoral population. You give it to them. In 2015, the entire vote that Bayelsa State brought was not up to 2 times put together the vote that Obiakpo brought. 800 and something thousand votes from Obiakpo. That is one local government of the Ikweres in Rivers State. So it is so as it is in Rivers, that is how it is in Delta. In Delta, we occupy a senatorial district where we are a majority, clearly. The Ijaws in Delta South, or we're a majority. We are not second fiddles. We dictate and we determine the politics of that senatorial district. And we are supportive. We support the Shekris, we support the Sokos. You know, we had a senator from that district, that had, if he had wanted to remain in the Senate till now, he would have been there. But because of the just attitude of live and let's live, and somebody from another tribe is in the Senate now. So Ondo is the same thing. The Edo, the Bimas, the Ijaws in Edo, the same thing. We don't constitute a majority in terms of electoral population. You go to Ondo, they are Robos, the Ijaws. They are not a majority. You go to Akwa Ibom, they are not a majority. So where do you fault Wike in his correct, except that we want to play bad politics? Bad politics, and it's not good for our development. It is not.
The declaration of the state of emergency in your sister state, Rivers State.
Yes.
Was that necessary?
Well, that will be gossip, and it will be cheap gossip to infer or to assume, to suspect that Wike and all that, Wike is responsible. No. Can we stay on the fact? What are the facts? Mr. President made a declaration. What are the content of that declaration? The man didn't put water in his mouth. Came out clearly. Gentlemen, fellow Nigerians, X, Y, Z. Can we fault any of the things he stated in his declaration? And remember, these are issues of serious national security. I will not even want to delve into it because the intelligence available to Mr. President, I don't have it. I don't have it. What if the declaration was not made? We got to a situation where we won't be sitting here. Now we are in Port Harcourt, in the zonal secretariat of the PDP South Zone. Assuming, who knows? Nobody sees tomorrow. But intelligence available to Mr. President, sometimes shapes his decisions. I may not be, of course, even Chief Wike has said he's not happy with the declaration of emergency. Left to him alone, he would have even allowed the... no, but when you have an emergency, you suspend it. That is the meaning of emergency. That is the meaning. It's an unusual situation. It's an unusual situation. Anything emergency, if they say there is emergency here now, you won't bother to talk about this on camera. What matters to you is safety. And that is the proper interpretation and meaning of emergency. In an emergency situation, anything can, it's a no-fly zone. That is why, let me give you, recently there was protest in Lagos. People were protesting, saw the police guiding them. But in Rivers State, can't, because it's a state under emergency. So security is, there must be, the state must exist, that's the meaning. And Mr. President has constitutional powers to take measures necessary to keep the state and every part of Nigeria to exist.
Okay. Will Wike be at the rally on the 26th of this month? And in what capacity?
Well, that is up to him to decide if he will be at the rally or not. The rally is in solidarity with Mr. President and himself. We are celebrating them. If he chooses to be there, we will. We are ready and willing to receive him and accord him the hospitality of our people of Bayelsa State. We'll roll out the drums and we'll receive him. And let me tell you, if Chief Dr. Wike decides to go to Bayelsa today, you will be amazed at the reception and the turnout of the people of Bayelsa and the Ijaws who will come out to receive him. And that is what they are afraid of. He is so loved, the support base is so massive. In Bayelsa State, I can tell you for free, if Wike makes an attempt to say it's going to Bayelsa State tomorrow, you will be amazed. And that is what they are fighting. That is what they don't want the world to see, because they have put so much propaganda out there. They have presented a scenario and a situation as if Wike is so hated, Wike is not welcome. That is not true. That is not true. The people love Wike so much. So much. The solidarity is massive. The followership is, it's so massive. And then if Wike says today that I'm going to Bayelsa, you'll be surprised. People will troop out on the highways and people just to have a glimpse of the man, So on the 26th, it is his decision whether he will be there in person or not. All we know is that we are going to celebrate him and Mr. President. You see, rule of law is very important. Because we must, if we live in a state of might, where the strongest, gets his way, then we have a problem. People must learn to follow and abide by the rule of law. The constitutionalism, we are practicing a constitutional democracy, Nigeria. The second thing is that we must be a patient people. We must learn, to persevere. Change doesn't come easily. We must learn to support leadership and support systems. Except such leadership is not on the right track. Of course, we can't join the bad wagon and then go and crash. But once there's a clear headway, you see a light at the end of the tunnel, you give support. After all, as Christians, we're encouraged to pray for leaders. When Israel was involved in a war, they said Joshua should put the hand up as leader. When the hand is up, the people are winning. Once it comes down, the Israelites are being defeated. It goes up, the Israelites are winning. It comes down. So that is the practical demonstration of what leadership and followership. Nigeria must succeed when we as citizens learn to identify prospects in leadership and then support. Where there is no prosperity, gentlemen, please, you have nothing to offer. Can you step aside? So, and on the whole, we know that, look, we are not there yet. Nigeria is a work in progress. Are we happy where we are? No, certainly.